Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Can we hear each other? I hope that we can. I don't know if you can hear me, if you can see me. Let's check this out. Give me just a few moments because I'm seeing that I'm pre-live on LinkedIn and we need to actually be live. So let me check it out. What's going on with that? Seems like it's gonna happen soon. Yes. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today was a stressful day, and it's time for the second edition, volume 2 of Nemanja Unfiltered. And this is the weekly show. If you don't know, I did one last week where I call bullshit on B2B marketing myths and I share what actually works when you're building go-to-market systems for real companies in the real world. My name is Nemanja Živković. I'm the managing partner of the Funky Enterprises and founder of the Funky Marketing, and somebody who has worked with, I don't know, I stopped counting, and 120 companies from all across Europe, North America, and the Middle East, including some of the companies like Microsoft, Deloitte, Generali, Marsh McLennan, and many other tech and SaaS companies. So I work all over the industries, all over niches, with individuals, with companies, started in B2C, now I'm working mostly in B2B. And this is the show where I decided to go unfiltered, just like I'm talking with my team, just like I'm talking with my clients, with the companies I work with, inside communities, to go unfiltered and to share and address all the bullshit that it's out there, especially here on LinkedIn, because I'm recording live here on LinkedIn. And today was a stressful day. I had some issues with blood pressure, so today I had to do some exercises, ultrasound of my heart. I found out that I have something since the moment I was born, and I didn't know about it, but basically for now it's okay. So think about your health and go and check out regularly. So if we are ready to go and I'm ready to go, let's go and let's dive into a couple of topics. Today, I'm covering 6 or 7 topics, and it's going to be as the last time. So no scripts, no filters. I'm not hiding anything, no bullshit, no prepared things, just real talk from someone who's actually doing the work. So first, we're going to talk about why your competitors are stealing your content and why that is actually, a good thing, even though a lot of you would say it's not. We're going to go over the mistakes that are costing companies 300,000 euros when they hire a CMO and they actually need a system architect. We're going to go and audit if your GTM is broken in 50 minutes, the retainer plus equity model, why hourly consulting fees are killing you, and many other topics. So let's jump in. So first topic that I want to cover is why your competitor stealing your content is actually good. Because a lot of people consider that as something that is, utterly bad. They try to get away from that. They don't allow competitors to get into that. And I see this panic all the time. Someone posts something on LinkedIn, gets traction, and 2 weeks later, 3 competitors have repackaged the same idea. And the original person freaks out, right? It happened to all of us. If you are creating content on LinkedIn, especially, it happened to you too. So they stole my content. Oh my God, oh my fucking God, they copied my framework. I should have kept it private. People are saying that, right? But it's wrong. It's really completely wrong, people, because here's what's actually happening. You're building your mental availability. What does it mean? Mental availability is a concept that a long time ago, Professor Byron Sharp from B2B Institute, in his book How Brands Grow, explain it means when someone in your market has a problem, your name comes to mind first. Not because you had the best ad, not because you had the fanciest website, but because you showed up consistently in their world with useful ideas. You are actually consistently useful. And when your competitors copy your content, they are doing three things for you. First one, can you guess which one it is? They are validating that your positioning is correct. If people are copying you, it means you are onto something that resonates in the market. Number two, they are amplifying your ideas. So every time someone responds to your framework or reposts it or mentions your concept, they are actually training the market to associate the idea with you. Even if they don't credit you, don't worry about it. The people who's been paying attention know where it came from, right? And the number three, they are filtering your audience for you. Amazing thing, right? The people who can tell the differences between the original and the copy, those are actually your people. Those are the ones who will hire you and not hire the copycats. So that's something to think about. I mean, I had competitors lift entire presentations that I shared, word for word, side from side, slide from slide. And you know what happened? The companies who reached out to me were the ones who said, hey man, Nemanja, we saw 5 people talking about this, but we know that you created it. So we want to work with the source. And that's mental availability in action. The goal here isn't to protect your IP, like, I don't know, like you're Coca-Cola hiding the recipe, right? The goal is to be so associated with an idea that when someone needs help with it, they think of you first. And I'd rather, to be honest, have 10 competitors stealing my content and reach 100,000 people than protect my content and reach 10,000 people, right? That's what it helps you with, amplifying the voice. Because the people who matter, the ones with a budget, the ones with real problems, trust me, they can tell the difference. Just stop worrying about the copycats. Start worrying about whether you're creating enough original thinking that's actually worth copying. Because most people and most companies don't do that. They don't have original thinking that's worth copying. I usually call that also thought leadership content, right? When you get the new perspective on the existing topic. Nice. Let me see who's we have here. Milos says that digital heart murmur. Yes, he was talking about my health and those kind of things. And it's funny enough, like Sloba, a friend of mine who I'm working with, said today, like, so officially you have physically bigger heart, not only what we know about it and how your heart is actually great, because I'm always there to help people. So it's kind of nice. Elisaveta said it's still incredibly frustrating, especially when one person fixates on you. It is, but it's from the start, especially if you don't have the, how do we say, if you don't have the support system, next to you, or you didn't develop the hard skin to get over that, right? It is, but you get used to it. I mean, I'm creating content since 2017, almost daily on LinkedIn in one way or the other. So that's like 9 years. A lot of people copied me. Sometimes I copied others with my opinion, right? That also happens. When you start from the start, you maybe try to implement something. You need to first copy it and then see, maybe I can adjust this, and then it becomes mine. So those are the things that are happening. Okay. Number 2, guys, feel free to ask questions anytime. I have them here on the screen so I can see them. I'll try to answer all of the questions that you have. So the topic number 2 that I want to address, it's a good one. It's a good one, but let me have a sip of water and then we'll go on. So the topic number 2 is a mistake that's costing you 300,000 euros. This is one of the most expensive mistakes that I see companies make. And a few times I was that mistake, right? I see companies hiring a CMO when what they actually need is a system architect. And it's incredibly frustrating, especially for example, you are going as a fractional CMO, or it's even harder if you are going as a CMO in-house. Why? Because it's harder to get out of it, right? So a company looks great on paper. They say, we follow Apple concepts, we follow Steve Jobs, and it sounds great. Steve Jobs is great, Apple is doing great, but for somebody who handles marketing, that actually means that they don't ship shit. And you will have a hell of the time over there just trying to get something out of the company. Because you will have 10 eyeballs on everything, everybody will have opinions, and they will probably look up to, I don't know, like if they're tech services company, they will consulting, they will look at maybe Accenture, right? But Accenture has 10,000 employees. That company has maybe, I don't know, like 1,000, over 1,000, which is not small, but it's actually small comparing to the Accenture, right? So they need to play on their flexibility. So they need to ship a lot of stuff out, then see what sticks, and just keep the things that resonate with the audience. So the audience, the customers, needs to decide, not us inside the company. So how it usually goes: company is doing maybe, I don't know, like 5 to 10 millions in revenue. Marketing is chaotic if there is marketing. Sometimes it's just one person over there. Sales is frustrated because that one person in marketing is not doing a lot of stuff. Sometimes it's just doing visuals, maybe knows videos, maybe creates materials for sales, right? Or post on social media. So sales is frustrated. There are no inbound leads, or not the right ones. And the founder is burnout trying to manage both sides. So they think we need a senior marketing person, let's hire a CMO. Sometimes they don't even know what marketing actually needs to do. And that actually happens a lot. So they recognize the person. A lot of times I was that person. We don't know what marketing actually needs to do, but we know that we need you. So what are the results you want to get? We want to get sales yesterday. So you need sales. You don't need me. Like a lot of people don't actually know how to define marketing and how to go about it. So they go out, they hire somebody with a great CV who work with big brands, ran big teams, manage big budgets. They pay them, I don't know, like 100,000, 150,000, maybe 200,000 euros per year, plus equity, plus bonuses. And 6 months later, nothing has fundamentally changed. Maybe the slide deck looks better, right? Maybe, I don't know, there's a new brand guideline. Maybe they have the new website. Maybe they ran some campaigns. But revenue isn't growing faster. Sales is still complaining that leads are shit. The founder, that guy is still stuck in the weeds. And then the CMO gets fired, of course. Or they quit. Or they mutually agree to part ways. And the company is out 300,000 euros when you factor in salary, equity, recurring costs, and lost time. So guys, what actually happens? What went wrong? The problem is never the person. The problem is that they hire a tactician when they needed a system architect. because they don't have systems inside the company so somebody can come in and run marketing. A CMO is trained to operate a marketing function. So they know how to run campaigns. They know how to manage marketing teams. They know how to allocate budgets. They know how to report on metrics, on marketing metrics. But if your go-to-market system is broken, if marketing, sales, customer success aren't aligned, a CMO cannot fix that. Because that's obviously not a marketing problem. That's a system problem. So you don't need somebody to optimize campaigns. You need somebody to rebuild the engine or build it from the start. And most CMOs, they don't do that. Not because they don't want to, right? Because they weren't hired to do that. They were hired to do the marketing. But let me go and share with you a little glimpse into the reality. If your sales team doesn't trust your leads, that's actually not a lead quality problem. That's a handoff problem. If your customer success team isn't feeding insights back into the marketing, that's not a content problem. That's a system problem. If your founder is the only person who can close deals, not a sales problem. That's a positioning and process problem. If your founder is the only person who can close deals, think about it. He's the bottleneck. You cannot solve system problems with better tactics. They are not in the same category. So before you hire a CMO, ask yourselves these questions. Do we have a clear positioning that sales, marketing, and customer success all agree on? We are going after the same people. They are not in silos. Do we have a defined ICP that everyone is aligned on? Do we have a process for how leads move from marketing to sales to customer success? Do we actually have a feedback loop so insights from customers inform our marketing? So insights are coming, marketing gets insights from the market, sales get insights from talking to potential customers, and customer success get insights from our existing customers. And they all align together. If the answer to all of this is no, then don't hire a CMO. Hire somebody who can architect the system first. Somebody who thinks in terms of revenue, operations, and not in terms of marketing campaigns. And then, once the system is built, then bring in the CMO to operate it. This way, you are actually bringing somebody who is maybe successful as a CMO to ruin their careers because you didn't try things, you didn't build the system. You are damaging that person and you are damaging the company. And it's costing you a lot of money. So this is why I don't call myself a consultant anymore. Because consultants, they give advice. I build the strategy and I implement it. I build the systems. And companies who actually understand the differences, they are the ones who don't waste 300,000 euros on the wrong hire. Cool. That's for the second topics. I got that off my chest finally, which is amazing. So let me just grab a bit of coffee. A good one. Okay, so the next topic that I wanted to talk with you about, to actually give you an advice and how you can do the audit. All right? So how to audit if your GTM is broken in like 50 minutes. That's what we're gonna talk about. I'm checking out to see if there are more comments. So I'm going to give you the exact checklist I use when clients come to me and say our marketing is not working. Usually, it's not a marketing problem, as I just explained. It's a system problem. And you can diagnose it in like 50 minutes. So let's see how I do it. Maybe you're doing it differently. Feel free to add in the comments. So question 1, can your sales team articulate your positioning in just one sentence? not the version of your website, not the version that they usually use in the sales calls. So if you ask three salespeople, what do you do, and you get three different answers, your positioning is broken. Full stop. It's broken because you're trying to sell three different things. The second question, does your ICP, ideal client profile, documentation match who your sales team is actually talking to? Go look in your last, 20 deals. Are they the companies you said you are targeting, or you're just closing whatever comes your way? Are they random, or are they exactly the accounts, the names, the logos you said you are targeting? If there's a mismatch, either your ICP is wrong or your sales team is just ignoring it. They want to get their quota by signing whoever. Either way, your system is broken. And the third question is, what happens to a lead after marketing passes it to a sales? So many people don't have an answer to that simple question. I asked them to walk me through the process step by step. So if the answer is it depends, or the sales rep decides, you don't have a process. You have a chaos inside your company. Question 4, how does customer success feed insights back into the marketing? Because when a customer churns, does marketing actually know why that happens? When a customer expands, does marketing know what triggered the expense? If the answer is sometimes, or we should probably do that, your feedback loop is broken. And feedback loop is what is the engine of your growth. Feedback loop. That's the first thing you build when you start the company. A lot of companies don't have that, and then later on it becomes the huge problem. Question 5, who owns the revenue? As simple as that. No ARR, annual recurring revenue, no MQLs, marketing qualified leads, not pipeline, not anything else, revenue. If the answer is sales, your marketing team is just making content. If the answer is it's share, then nobody actually owns it. Revenue needs only one owner. Usually the CEO or a revenue leader who sits above marketing, sales, and customer success. Few more, actually 2 more. Question 6, can you draw your customer journey on a whiteboard right now? It gives us the answer if it's clear enough. From the first touch to close deal to expansion, with all of the handoffs, with all the tools. If you cannot do that, if 3 people in the room draw it differently, your journey is broken. And the last one, seventh question, what's the cost to acquire a customer versus the lifetime value? So not an estimate, the real number. If you don't know this number, you're basically flying blind, to be honest. You don't know if your system is working or not. And that's it, guys. 7 questions, 50 minutes. And I promise you, if you can not answer all of 7 clearly and confidently, you don't have a tactics problem, you have a system problem. And no amount of better ads, better content, better campaign, other CMO will fix it. You need to rebuild the engine, right? I hope that was clear and useful. Go ahead, use these 7 questions, ask yourself, ask the companies you're working with, and see if they have it all figured out. Because it's always about the basics. A lot of companies don't have figured out the basics, and then later on it costs them. It stops the growth at one moment. So, okay. The next one that I want to cover is retainer plus equity model. It's something that I've been thinking for a while now, and it's something that I've been in this game for a long time. My first job was in an agency. On the side, I was the CMO in startups. I was the rookie, then I was the team lead, then I was the general manager, then I was the CEO. So I was a lot of stuff, and I did every single position in the marketing and sales at one moment, and a lot of stuff. So I've been thinking I help scale a lot of companies. I scaled a lot of companies. And the thing that frustrates me is that I got nothing out of it. Okay, I got the retainer, right? But when you grow, I want to grow too because I help you grow, right? That's something to think about. And retainer is even good. A lot of companies are focusing on hourly consulting, and this directly helps them leave money on the table. Because most consultants bill by the hour or by the project. You do the work, you send the invoice, and you move on. I used to do that too, as I just told you, and I was leaving massive amounts of money on the table. So, and there are a couple of reasons why that happened, right? When you bill hourly, your incentives are misaligned with your clients' incentives. They want results, and you get paid for time. So even if you're doing the great work, there's always this tension: are they billing me for work that doesn't matter? And if you are not doing that, the client is always wondering. Plus, hourly billing caps your upside. If you're really good and you solve their problems fast, you make less money. That's insane, guys. So a few years ago, I shifted to a retainer plus equity or a revenue share model. And with the funky enterprises, we focus a lot on that when we can. So here's how it works. So I charge a monthly retainer, usually somewhere between, I don't know, 5,000 and 20,000 euros, depending on the scope. That covers my time and ensures that I'm prioritized. But on top of that, I take the equity, either equity or percentage of revenue growth tied to the systems we build. So why does it work? One, it aligns with incentives. If the system I build drives revenue, I win. If it doesn't, I don't. Number two, it filters clients. If someone isn't willing to give me the equity or revenue share, it means that they don't actually believe the work that will drive results. And that's a red flag, and I walk away. Number three, it compounds. My favorite word, it compounds. Instead of getting paid once and moving on, I get paid over time as the results compound. Some of my best clients from 3 years ago are still paying me because the system we built are still driving the revenue. Now, of course, I'll be telling you where that I do this when I can. This model doesn't work for everyone. We need to be honest. If you're building a campaign that runs for 3 months and then adds equity, doesn't make sense. If you're building a GTM system, positioning, ICP, demand gen engine, sales process, customer success loop, that's actually building the infrastructure. And that compounds until one moment that it starts working like lava and clears everything on its way. So here's the other benefit. It changes the relationship. So I'm not a vendor anymore. I'm a partner. I'm in the room when big decisions are made. I have skin in the game. And clients, they treat me differently because of it, and we have a different relationship. So instead of can you make a campaign, it's what do you think we should do strategically? That's the difference between being higher hands and being an operator. Okay? So if you're a consultant and you're still billing hourly, ask yourself, please, am I confident enough in my work to bet on the outcome? Are you good enough? Can you make shit done? If the answer is yes, start structuring deals with equity or revenue share. If the answer is no, maybe you need to get better at what you do first. Okay? If you have any questions, feel free to drop them now or whenever until the end of the episode. I think those are the topics which are really great, and I'm somebody who is interested in them truly, and I want to see how are you looking at them as well. Let me just pause for a few moments. I added this music in the background. I hope it's nice because it keeps me going. Right? That's the basically the main reason. It gets me going. Okay, so moving on to the next one. I just go over the topics. Feel free if you have a topic that you want me to go over to help you out with something. Feel free to drop your questions or your topics in the comments, and I'll be happy to do that this time or the next time. Doesn't matter. We're here every week. We're going live on LinkedIn and publishing on Sundays on my YouTube channel. So if you don't catch the lives, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I will leave the link in the comments, and then you can watch the whole thing in peace in whichever time that suits you. So the next one I want to cover is why I turn down 80% of inbound leads and why you should do it too. People think the goal of marketing is to generate as many leads as possible. So that's wrong. The goal is to generate the right leads, and that means saying no a lot. I learned that the hard way from the start. I started accepting all the clients that I have, like the biggest clients that we signed. It was COVID, and they said, Nemanja, we're going to get you more clients. We don't want to hire anybody. You hired people. So I hired people, and to be able to pay them, I needed to accept a lot of leads that aren't actually the right fit, or I wasn't actually excited to work with. So at one moment I said, okay, cut it off. We are downsizing the company, the agency. I'm choosing who I want to work with because I don't want to build just another agency that does the thing for everybody. I'm not for everybody, and my company is not going to be for anybody. So I get a ton of inbounds. As I'm active on LinkedIn, I have a huge presence. People in the region know me, and even globally. So between LinkedIn referrals, my newsletter, my podcast, I probably get like 10 to 15 new inquiries a week. Okay, not all of them are good. I would say most of them are shit. And not because they are bad companies or bad people. Not because they don't have the budget, but because they're not fit. They're not fit to what I want to do, to what I'm motivated to do. So here are a couple of filters that I'm using. Are they looking for tactics or the systems? And I need to ask specific questions to be able to get that out of them. If they come in asking for LinkedIn ads or content calendar or help with our website, I say no, of course. Because that's not what I do. I build systems. If they need just execution, they should hire an agency. Right? So that's why we build like funky enterprises. So I have a lot more people and I can direct them to them. I'm not going to be the one doing the work, but I won't reject them. I just don't want to work with them on my own. When the time comes or we see the need for them to actually, do something that I want to do, then I get it. So filter number 2, do they understand the difference between the current cash flow and the future cash flow? Again, I'm mentioning the professor Byron Sharp. You probably know, I talked about it in the first Nemanja Unfiltered last week, and it's the 95 to 5% rule. 95% of your market isn't buying right now. They're out of the market. They'll buy in 6 months, a year, or maybe in 2 years. And if a company only cares about leads this quarter, they don't understand how B2B actually works. And I cannot help them. I work with companies who are willing to build mental availability and play the long game. The rest of my team, the rest of the Funky Enterprises team, they help you win now. I help you win big and win in the future and play the long game. So you see, we combine nicely. So the next one I'm asking, is the founder or CEO involved? Why does it matter? Because if I'm talking to a marketing manager or a junior person, Uh, for me, that's a red flag. Not because they are not smart, but because if the CEO doesn't care enough to be in the room, that the work won't get implemented. I need to work with a decision maker who can actually change the system. And not many people in the company have the ability and the power to do that. So, are they willing to give me the equity or the revenue share? If they say we just want to pay a flat fee, that tells me they don't believe in the work that will drive results. And if they don't believe, why would I? Now, there are exceptions. For example, the company that will give you the revenue will be usually the company who is not doing well at the moment. Meaning, for example, they just build the product and there were two founders and one just quit the company and there is just one. But now the product is ready. So he don't have a lot of money to invest, but he needs help and he's willing to give you the revenue share. So, for example, that might happen. Now, do they have the realistic expectations about timelines? Because building a go-to-market system takes, I don't know, like 6 to 12 months. All depends on the size of the company, size of the market, whatever it is. So it's not just something we write and then we go, they use it, we win. It's not how it goes. If they want results in 30 days, they are not ready for what I do. So I turn down most leads. And you know, guys, what happens? The ones I do take close at a 90% rate. Because by the time we get on the call, they're pre-qualified. They understand what I do. They are ready to invest and they are committed, which is essential, right? And I look back at the times when I used to take every call, my close rate was maybe, I don't know, like 20%. And I wasted hours and hours talking to people who were never going to buy. So saying no is actually a positioning strategy. When you say no to the wrong clients, the right clients are taking you more seriously. So my advice is to stop trying to be everything to everyone. Figure out who you are for and say no to everybody else. For example, let me give you something that I did. I was trying to figure out who am I for, and I found out that I'm great for the B2C companies, established brand that are now trying to build a B2B product, so a B2B brand. I'm great for them, but I cannot actually locate those companies. I cannot know what companies are trying to build inside, right? Wix was one of those companies. They reached out to me for exactly that. So, and as I don't know how many of them are over there, I don't know how big is the total available market or total obtainable market. I cannot go after those. So they will come from time to time, but they cannot be my main ICP. So figure out who you are for and say no to everybody else. That's my advice for closing these topics. And I think we're going to go one more or two more. We'll see. If you have any questions, feel free to say. Music is just okay. That's perfect. I try to make it as quiet as possible, but just to have it a little bit in the background. The thing with this restream is that I cannot see. LinkedIn doesn't allow restream to give me the info how many of you are on the stream, but I need to open the second stream on LinkedIn and see, because LinkedIn is giving me the number of people that are on the stream right now. So kind of, I don't know, like LinkedIn has so many faults, but let's just move on. So talking about LinkedIn, I want to address a little bit the topic on which I'm going to drop the newsletter tomorrow, and it's LinkedIn 360 Brew algorithm. So LinkedIn rolled out a major update. It's called 360 Brew, which is sound like a brewery producing the beer and not the LinkedIn algorithm. But as usual, everyone's freaking out. I see that all over my feed. Is the algorithm change? My reach is down. What do I do now? So, couple of words about what actually happened and what it means for your strategy. First, 360 Brew, it's the LinkedIn's attempt to move away from pure engagement bait and move towards what they call knowledge and advice. So they want to show content that actually helps people, not just content that gets likes and comments. So what does that mean practically? So one thing, change dwell time matters more than engagement. If someone reads your post for 30 seconds, that signals value to the algorithm. If they stay more, it's amazing, and it's even the better signal, even if they don't like or comment or engage in any way. This is huge. It means long form thoughtful posts are being rewarded over short engagement. So again, who engages matter more than how many people engage. So it's not that you go only towards your connections or your followers. 100, we need 100 people that we can sell to and we're done. No, it doesn't. It's not true anymore. If your post gets 100 likes from random people, that's less valuable than 10 comments from people in your industry. So but they don't need to be your connections. LinkedIn is trying to prioritize relevance over vanity metrics. So who is commenting to your post matter. Now, external links, sometimes they're penalized, sometimes are not. But if you post a link, your reach will still drop, but not as much as it used to. And what is the workaround? If you really want to share the link, make sure that your content, your posts, leads towards somebody clicking the link. It's not just educative post when you educate them and just drop them the link. Hey, but buy. Let me explain you this. Now buy. That doesn't work. You need from the start to be clear and to explain that you actually want people to click on the link. Now, conversation matters more than ever. I was having a viral post the other day talking about how to use the comments, why it matters. Check out my couple of my last posts, you will see it. If your post sparks back and forth discussion, that's a strong signal. Not just one-off comments, but actual conversation. So this is why I've been saying strategic commenting is more important than broadcasting. So here's what hasn't changed. Consistency still matters. If you post once a month, the algorithm doesn't care how good your content is. Quality still beats the quantity. One great post a week is better than 7 mediocre posts. And I'm advocating that have 1 or 2 great posts per week and engage in the comments. Relationships still drive distribution. The algorithm just prioritizes content from people you engage with regularly. So in other words, what should you do? Stop chasing the engagement. Start creating content that makes people think, so they can stay on the post and think, right? Write longer posts. Give away your best ideas. Make people stop scrolling. Create evergreen content. There will be something that people want to save and come back to it in a couple of weeks. So when I say evergreen, the content that matters through time. Engage strategically. Show up in other people's comments. Start conversations. And don't just drop great post, my man, and leave. And stop worrying about the fucking algorithm. Algorithms change every 6 months. Systems don't. Relationships don't. If you're building mental availability and creating genuinely useful content, the algorithm will work in your favor eventually. Yeah. So that's something that matters. Okay. I think we have a question. Okay, I don't see the name here. It says LinkedIn user. So LinkedIn user. Maybe I will see you through LinkedIn, but in Restream I cannot see the name. It says, okay, what is the first question of criteria for defining an ICP? That's a good topic. And I'll include it next week. So let's get deeper into how are you defining an ICP. I usually think that people know that, but maybe we can get into it. So noted. First topic for the next week is what is the first question or criteria for defining an ICP, and not just the first one. Let's see how you define the ICP and cover all that topic next week. I won't answer now because it's too long, right? But actually, I can say one thing. Let me give you an example. How do I look at the perfect customer? Um, let's use Slack, for example. Slack. Okay? Everybody knows what Slack is. So the messaging platform. Ideal client for Slack is not the one who buys Slack and somebody who pays or somebody who registers on a platform. Ideal customer or ICP for Slack is somebody who buys, registers, and send two messages. So somebody who gets activated inside the company, right? And I'm saying that because next time I want to also get what is the difference between ICP and the ideal customer. Are there the differences? So something to think about as well. Okay, so I want to comment one more topic as I was talking about 360 brew. I want to cover the commenting versus broadcasting on LinkedIn. So everyone on LinkedIn is, for some reason, obsessed with posting. I need to post every day. I need to create more content. And it seems like, I don't know, you tell me, but it seems like it is the ego play, right? Maybe I'm wrong. But I see that nobody talks about commenting strategically and is often more effective than posting. Because when you post, you're actually broadcasting to your audience. You are going to them, talking to them. But the people who already follows you, right? Sure, if your post gets traction, it reaches beyond your network, but most posts don't. So when you comment strategically, meaning you show up in the comments of posts from people in your target market, you're actually showing up in their audiences. And if you leave a thoughtful, valuable comment, their audiences notices you and they come to your profile to check out who is this guy actually giving, or girl, or the lady or gentleman giving valuable comments. Let me give you the math. Let's say you have 10,000 followers. You post something, LinkedIn shows up to maybe 10% of them. 10% of them. That's like 1,000 people. Now, let's say you find 10 posts from people in your ICP, founders, executives, decision makers, or somebody who are, let's call them influencers, and you have your ICP under their posts, so commenting or reacting to them, right? Each of these posts has like 5,000 views. So you leave a thoughtful comment on each one. You don't say great posts, you say something that adds value. And that's like 50,000 possible impressions to get, which is 5 times more than your post. Plus, okay, you're showing up in front of people who are already engaged. It's not you or me who will make them engage. They are already engaged with the content which is more or less similar to what you're talking about. And if your content is great in your comments, they will come check out your post. And if the content in your post is great, they will say, aha, amazing, let me follow this guy. So they are reading that post because they care about the topic. And when you see the comment and it's insightful, they click on your profile. They read your content, they follow you. A lot of them answer on your comment. They send you a message. And this is what I call conversational velocity. It's not about how much content you create, it's about how many conversations you're a part of. And the best part is commenting takes less time than actually creating a content. Okay? Think about it. A thoughtful comment is, I don't know, like 3 to 5 sentences. So you can write 10 of them in 30 minutes. A good post, that's an hour minimum. For the most of people. For me, it's not, but for most of people, it is. So having that in mind, here's what I will do. Post 2 to 3 times a week, long form, high value content, but comment 10 to 15 times a week on other people's posts. So actually, I would say that you do that many comments daily, but start with that. and that commenting drives more profile views, more followers, more inbound leads that my post do. Because I'm showing up where my audience already is, guys. So stop broadcasting into the void. Try commenting, and then you will see that your post will also get more traction. Start showing up in conversations that are already happening. The first thing you can do is find, like, I don't know, like 10 people in the target market who are active on LinkedIn. Set up a list in your Google Docs, wherever. Add their profiles bookmarked. Check their post every day. Turn on notifications on LinkedIn. In like 3 days, you will learn and know the time when they are online, when they are posting. So you will be one of the first to drop a comment. So when they post something relevant, leave a comment that adds value and continue the conversation. Create the post in a way that they differentiate you, they show your point of view, that they add value. Feel free to disagree if you actually disagree, but do that with respect. And do that for 3 months and tell me your inbound didn't increase. There's no way that's not going to happen. And that's, guys, that is conversational velocity, and it actually works. Okay? Perfect. Okay. If there are no questions that I can answer right now, we agree that we're going to talk about ICP and differentiation between ideal customer and ICP next week. I'll probably be in my hometown, so it'll be a little bit of different setup. But hey, that's what we're here for, in my mother's childhood room, which is amazing. But let me recap what we covered today. It was longer than I expected, but it doesn't matter. So, why competitors stealing your content is actually good for building mental availability, the 300,000 euro mistake of hiring a CMO when you need a system architect, the 50 minutes audit to diagnose if your GTM is broken. I love that audit, so feel free to use it. Why the retainer plus equity model aligns incentives and compounds over time. Compounds is my favorite word, and you will hear in the next month or so why we are building something meaningful, why I turned down 80% of leads and why you should do it too, what LinkedIn 360 Brew algorithm actually changed and what it means for your strategy, and 7, the last one, why strategic commenting beats broadcasting and the math behind conversational velocity. So guys, if you got value from this, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe, turn on the notification of my profiles. If you didn't do it, hit the bell. New episodes drop on YouTube every Sunday. I do these lives on LinkedIn in different times. If you turn on notification, you will get when I do it. I'm traveling, going to parties and games. That's why I need to switch from different times in a week. But if you want to work with me, if you're tired of hiring agencies to optimize broken systems, you're ready to rebuild your GTM from the ground up, no matter if you're a person or a company, feel free to book a strategy call. Link is in the description, or it's in feature section of my profile. Follow me here on LinkedIn, engage with other posts, check out my other posts, engage. I'm always happy to get into the conversation. Send me a message. If you have a question, I'll be happy to answer. And if you have a topic that you want me to tear apart next week, drop it in the comments. We have one, we'll have more. I read all the messages. Sometimes if I don't respond right away, it means maybe I have some health issues, but I try to do it to respond fast. Thanks for watching, and see you with this episode next Sunday on YouTube. Cheers, guys. Keep it funky and keep it unfiltered. We need to be more direct and honest with everything we do and call out bullshit. Because if we don't do, bullshit will grow, and then what happens? We all will be them and go to shit. Cheers. Bye-bye. Respect.